I am going to teach you some Scratch programming in this tutorial. Scratch is built by MIT, and this is the platform where kids can learn the basics of programming, the basics of coding, and the basics of software engineering. Quite honestly, they can build stories, they can build games, animations, so on and so forth. Scratch is widely used by the libraries, the schools, and any learning community that you can think of. Scratch recommends this programming for 8 to 16 years old kids. However, I have seen kids as young as 5 years old start working on their Scratch skills. So let's just dive in. If you want to use Scratch program, go to scratch.mit.edu. Once you go there, I'm using Chrome, so you can use Chrome. Go to scratch.mit.edu, and you should be able to see the projects as you can see right now on my screen. These are some featured projects by other people who have built these projects or these animations or the games or sort of like the fun ideas that they have. Now, if you haven't joined Scratch yet, click on this little button that says join, or you can click on the right top corner that says join Scratch. Once you click join Scratch, it will walk you through the screen, and you should be able to create your username and password. So yes, if you haven't joined, go ahead and click on join Scratch to your top right, as you can see right here, or you can click on join and you should be able to create your profile username and password. Once you do that, you can click on sign in, put your username and your password and submit, and you should be able to see that you're already signed in, as you can see right here on my screen. So if you click on your username, mine is KTechWorld, you should be able to see profile, my stuff, account settings, and sign out. So when you're done with your the program, you can go ahead and sign out. And you can see your previous projects, or if you have something saved via your My Stuff tab. All right, so to build your first program, click on Create. So once you click on Create, it is creating a project as you saw just right now. You should be able to see a similar screen on your end as well as you see on my screen. First of all, this project says Untitled 7. So let's go ahead and give it a name. Let's call it first dash project, and click anywhere on this screen and it will save your project name right here. Right, so now you have saved your first project, my first project. All right, now I'll show you what the Scratch screens do. Now in this screen, you'll be able to see a lot of different sections. All right, so here is your main section where you're going to add your logic or your actions or your code or whatever you want to call it. But basically, you're going to tell the Scratch program to what to do. Here is your output screen where you'll be able to see your output. So let's say if you're doing something in this screen and telling the project to do whatever the action that you want it to take, you'll be able to see the result right here while you're building the project. These 3 tabs are basically the tabs that gives you different options to code, to change the costumes of your character, or to add the sound. All right, so before we go there, let's go here and I'll show you. So this is a character in Scratch. I believe it's Scratchy, and this is the sprite. The Scratchy is a sprite, basically an object or an element that will be moving back and forth on your screen. All right, we can also change the name. I'm going to call it Scratchy or My Scratchy. Let's call it My Scratchy. So as you see, the name is changed from Scratchy to My Scratchy, or sorry, Sprite to My Scratchy right here. Now Scratch offers you so many other characters, so you can click. Let me go back and show you once again. You can click on this plus sign and that says choose a sprite. You click on it and you should be able to see lots and lots of character, like Abby. You have an apple, you have arrow, baseball, basketball, you have a bear. So interesting characters. You have a cat or a Scratchy, so lots and lots of characters. They make it so interesting. Again, remember, this is for kids, so use your own judgment, your own creativity, and select the character that you want. I'm going to stay with this cat or the Scratchy right now. Now, what are we going to do is to learn a little bit more about all the steps, right? So here I already explained, this is your code tab, this is your costume. You can change the costume of Scratchy. So let's say if you click on this and you can change the colors, and see, the Scratchy is now changed. You can change Scratchy's hand as well to green, and you can change Scratch's feet to green as well, or whatever, red, so, or pink. So whatever you like. You can also delete. For now, we're gonna use the basic Scratchy, basic cat. All right. So this is kind of the paint that you use in your windows, or the paint in general that you can just use any of this tool and add whatever you like. Then the third tab is sound. Scratch also allows you to add sounds the way you like. You can also record the sounds that will go in the later tutorials. Now let's go back to code for now. And inside code, you have lots of different options that you can use. You have motion. You can move your element, in this case Scratchy, to 10 to 15 to 150 or whatever you want, how many steps. And you can go to random position. You can turn, basically turn 15 degrees, turn right or turn left. You can glide. We're going to look into this a little bit more detail very soon. The second one is looks. Looks is basically makes your element, makes your Scratchy to say hello, or to think, like think for 2 seconds. How many times you thought today since you woke up? Too many times, right? Scratchy also needs to think. All right, so you can do all this. The third one is sound. You can play different sounds while performing some actions on your Scratchy. Events, basically when the go button is clicked. Here is your go button. See, there's it says go right there. So whenever you want to run your project, you want to click on go. Now the event tells do something when you press go, and we'll come back to this a little later on. Then you have control. Control basically gives you a real good interaction or ideas or introduction. What programming is all about in a very fun way. So in later videos, I'll go over controls, so don't miss them. The controls are the most important logical part of your project. All right, so this is control. Then sensing, when you touch something, do this. So this is kind of like more into the programming concept. Operators, like the math operator, plus, minus, multiplication, so on and so forth. So this all starting from events, control, sensing, operators, and the next one, variables, and my blocks. All this sort of introduces the programming concept or coding concept to kids really well. So I'll be explaining in my later tutorials how to use them. So for now, let's build our first basic project using motion. All right, now what you want to do is you want to move your Scratchy 10 steps. So let's go ahead. What you want to do is basically you want to take this motion action and put it on your screen where you're supposed to code, which is right here. All right, and if you want to check what it does, I'll show you in a bit how that works. So first of all, let's drag this and put it on your coding screen. Now, you just coded your first line of code and you said, Scratchy, move 10 steps. All right, now I want to see what did I just do. You simply click on this move 10 steps and you'll see it moves 10 steps. See, it moves 10 steps. See, it moves 10 steps. Something like this. I'm going to put my Scratchy back right here and I'm going to say 100 steps or maybe 150 steps instead. And you click anywhere on your screen once again, it is now there. So if you want to see what it does, you simply click on this. It moved 150 steps. It moved 150 steps. What I'm going to do is put my Scratchy back to where it was. All right. Now, usually when you want to run the program, you have to tell the program to run. How do we tell the program to run? You click on go. This green little go button is something that you're going to use. All right. As I mentioned, you're going to use this green button that says go to run your project or your program. Now, when you do this, you'll have to tell the Scratch program that you press this button. Okay, so what you can use is in the events, you have when the go clicked event. So we drag and take it into your coding part, and this is the second line of your code you just wrote. You're saying when the go is clicked, move the scat 250 steps. All right, so let's click this, move 150 steps. Click this, move 150 steps. So this is how it works. Now, as you see, that I have to drag Scratchy back after it moves, otherwise it's going to, even if you do it on the bigger screen, right? This is your output screen. At one point, Scratchy is gonna go away. Like you're gonna lose the Scratchy, see? Before it lose, let me drag it back. Whoops, I can't do it anymore. All right, let me just stop the program. It doesn't even let me stop. Anyway, so let's, one way to get this Scratchy back now, oops, it lets me do that. So, okay, let's do this. And we put it back. All right, now I forgot to mention that this is your stop of the program. So let's say if your program is running and it's not stopped, you can interrupt the program or you can stop the program while it's running or while it is running. for whatever reason your program is not stopping, this is the thing, this is the button, the stop button that you want to use to stop your program. All right, this is save now. I'm going to save my project as it is right now. So save now. There you go, project saved. All right, now I'm going to show you glide. Remember I told you? So the way Scratchy moves right now, it's kind of like a rapid move. Instead of that, if you use glide and let me show you. So I'm going to, or maybe I'll keep it there and I'll show you glide, sorry. So let me take this glide, and all I did is drag and dropped into your code. This is the third line of your code. All right, so what are we telling now to our program? When go is clicked, move 150 steps. So what this cat is going to do is going to move 150 steps, as you have seen before, and then for next 1 second it will glide to random position, and I'm going to show you what glide does. It actually smoothly changes the position, changes the X and Y, or the location of Scratchy, sorry, on your output panel. So let's do this. So I clicked on it, it moved 150 steps, and for next 1 second it moved or glided to a random position. You can change the seconds and you'll see the better output. Let me do it 5 seconds, okay? And let's run the program and say 150 steps it moved, and now it's gliding back to somewhere else. Let me do it again. Now it's here, it's gonna move 150 steps towards its right, and again, that's the natural move for Scratchy at this point. So it's going to move to the right 150 steps, and then it is going to move to a random position. So let's do this. Boom. So it moved, and it is taking the 5 seconds to come back to wherever it wants, like a random position. If I go back to the only bigger output screen, I'm going to start or let the project go, and it's going to move 150 steps, and now it's moving back, or it's moving to a random position. Coincidentally, it's moving back, but okay, now it's gliding forward, right? So that's how Scratchy works. I'm going to get this back. Now, instead of doing to random position, I want Scratchy to move wherever my mouse pointer is. So I'm going to simply click on this drop down arrow and change the random position to mouse pointer. All right, now we don't really want 150 steps, so what I'm going to do is take this and take this out and remove 150 steps. All right, so I'm going to put this back, and now I wanted to show you before I do that, so let's take a look and see mouse pointer. So what it's going to do is, let me put the Scratchy first right here and do this. See, it detects my mouse always here, because my mouse was always here when I clicked. So how can I make sure that it doesn't do that? So you know what, we're gonna let Scratchy think for a couple of seconds before it starts gliding. So to do that, let's go to events, or maybe controls. No, sorry, events. It is not in the events. Looks, let's see. Oh yeah, looks. Let Scratchy think for 2 seconds before it starts gliding. That way I have time to change my mouse. And again, let me tell you this. I want to make sure that Scratchy does not see my mouse pointer when I'm clicking on go, because otherwise it's gonna see always my mouse pointer is always here, right? And it's gonna try to move there every single time. So what I'm trying to do is I'm gonna let Scratchy think for 2 seconds. As you have seen, it's in looks. You can take this, it's thinking for 2 seconds, and then glide to where the mouse pointer is. And I'm gonna put this right there. All right, so let's put the Scratchy back here. Let's click on, so now what it is going to do, let's summarize. When you click on go, Scratchy thinks for 2 seconds, and then it's going to glide within 5 seconds to where your mouse pointer is. All right, so let's do this. And within 2 seconds, make sure that you move your mouse to wherever you want the Scratchy to move. So let's click on this, boom, and I moved my mouse right here. And let's see where Scratchy moves. All right, see how funny this is, how interesting this is. Let's click it again. And I want to put my mouse here. It is thinking. All right, it found my mouse pointer is right down there. Great. Let's do one more. Let's give it a shot once again. Put it here. It's thinking, now we found the mouse pointer. It's moving up there. Now I'm going to show you the last time in a bigger screen so you can see that again. So I'm going to click this, it's going to think for 2 seconds, then it's gonna detect my mouse pointer, and then it's going to move. So let me click on the go button, done, thinking, started gliding. It'll take 5 seconds to come down where my mouse pointer is. So guys, I hope you had a lot of fun. Oh, you know what? Before I go, I also wanted to show you something super interesting. Now, as you see, your background is kind of like pretty white, blank, not so interesting. What do you guys think, right? You can change the background. Let me show you how. So see, you have stage right here and you have backdrops, okay? So you click on backdrops or click on staging, or I want to say click on, let's go back. Not backdrops. I'll go back. All right. Let me show you how you can change the backdrop or background. So you click on this. So you're in the staging options. You click on this little icon that says plus button and see, choose a backdrop. So you click it again. It opens up lots and lots of different backgrounds that you can select. And again, it's pretty interesting. Don't forget, use whatever you like the best out of all this. You don't really have to do anything fancy. You simply click on any background that you like. Let's do a boardwalk. All right, see, now it's going to do a boardwalk. How does that sound to you all? I'm changing the location of the cat. Let me do that in a bigger screen. Before I do that, I want to save my projects. I'm gonna save now, so if something happens, my work is saved. Save your projects, guys, as many times as you change something, or whenever you realize. It's a very helpful technique to not lose your work while you're doing something. As an example, if you by mistake close your browser, right? If you haven't saved your project, in this case my first project, it's not going to save the work that you have just did. All right, you have just done. So let's go back to our output screen. Now again, once I click this button, it's gonna think for 2 seconds and it's gonna move where the mouse pointer is. All right, let's do it. Oh, I want Scratchy to walk in the straight line, probably this time on a boardwalk. So let's take a look. Boom. And I'm gonna put my mouse right here as you see on your screen. Now it is going a little bit not in the right direction. Okay, so what I'm gonna do now is I'm going to click and I'm gonna put it here, and let's see how does that work. I put it back. I'm pretty sure I put it back. Maybe not. Next time I'm gonna run this and I'm gonna put my mouse right here, so it's gonna come back in the right direction. All right, good. So see, this is basically the program. You click on this and I want to stop that right now while he's walking. Whoop. See, the program is stopped. So the Scratchy doesn't go into the ocean. All right, so guys, again, I want to summarize what we have learned today. Scratch programming, super easy, very much fun, very interesting. I'll give you lots of interesting stuff if you want to start coding, start learning how the programming works. All right, we learn the basic code motion. We learn a basic event when the event is clicked. Once again, this is yellow, events are yellow, that's how you know it's event. This is purple. All right, the looks is purple, that's how you know if you want to change something, go into the looks. All right, the blue is motion, as you see right here as well. Blue is motion. All right, we haven't used controls or control. I'm going to show you in the next tutorials as to how you can use controls and the rest of the stuff. But again, my goal out of this video is to teach you some very basics about Scratch programming, to create some interest, to make sure that programming is not, or coding is not always tough. It's super straightforward, it's very interesting, and this is the first step as a kid that you want to learn before you go anywhere else. And MIT Scratch made it super simple. If you like this video, click on the like button, subscribe to my channel, share it with your friends, and give us lots of love so we can make more and more videos. And once again, thank you for watching, and stay tuned. We're gonna come back with more videos. Bye guys.